Devil may cry, call me Dante. Watching my enemies fading away. Trading the light all the way from the day. Catch me at night, put your dick in a grave. I'm a modern Johnny Cash. Button up, that's all black. San Diego.
Tucker Carlson is AIDS. He is detrimental to every Christian that listens to him and believes in him. Not only that, he is so much an Islamist and is so anti-American that they actually play him on regular rotation on the Iranian regime's television. You realize that these people don't even get to access normal internet, but yet Tucker Carlson is one of the main things that they dub for the people of Iran to listen to. If that isn't an enemy of America, I don't know what is. My name is Spark, and I'm speaking.
Stop, Armin. So the Islamic regime right now is literally broadcasting Tucker Carlson interviews in Persian on their 24-hour news channel. The country is in a state of chaos, and yet for some reason, the Islamic regime is choosing to play Tucker Carlson interviews because this is like, you know, it's Islamist propaganda. I'm just filming this right now because if I didn't do this, no one would believe. This is literally what's going on in occupied Iran right now.
And this is from Goldie Gamari. Please follow her. She was at one point a politician in Canada, and now she is someone who has covered the Iran war every single day for like 5 hours a day since it started, and she does really, really good work.
No, you've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, you said, could this be the Antichrist?
This man is the fattest liar. Is so much of a liar that even leftist women like this can catch him in lies like consistently. The man lies like he breathes.
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist?
Could this be the Antichrist?
I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips.
Raised some eyebrows this week when you said that Hamas is more like a political organization than a terror group.
Hamas is a group of jihadis. They're Islamic extremists, which they also claim constantly. Which I don't know if that's true, by the way. It seems more like a political organization.
I didn't say that.
The future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
You said in our previous interview, the future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
I'm amazed that you have a tape of me saying that, and I just want to disavow it. A lot of young men in America, mostly white, but not exclusively, listen to Nick Fuentes really carefully. This kid is the single most influential figure among young white men, and not just white, actually. Is that true? Oh, it's definitely true. Of course, half the thing was about Fuentes, and like, who cares? Fuentes?
There was a lot.
This man is so full of it.
A lot of Fuentes.
Who cares about Fuentes? Talk about irrelevant.
America's supporting.
Fuentes is probably more relevant than he is, but also I don't go with all that, gay Mexican Hitler, anti-Semitic BS.
Israel because it's an ally.
And no, I'm not Jewish.
I don't even know what those words mean. I'm just saying my principle.
They're an ally, right? I mean, they both.
I don't know what that means to be an ally.
Qatar is like one of our closest allies in the world. The largest American air base in the Middle East is in Qatar.
Yeah, and Qatar also helped hide the leaders of Hamas after October 7th.
They're a close ally of ours.
Yeah.
I come to Israel and the infrastructure, we were flying in, and I said to my buddy, I was like, man, first of all, looks great. I love the agriculture in Israel because it's beautiful. I love
anybody who lies, anybody who is this dishonest, they can't be trusted for anything. And honestly, just zero integrity. I feel bad for his family, honestly.
Green, I
don't care how much money he has, even though he was born in money. Like, he comes from a rich family, but I'm just saying money isn't everything. And I feel bad for his family because, like, it must be difficult being the wife of somebody who is this much of a dishonest, just slimy little slime ball.
Plants.
I remember when it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
First time I came in 53 years ago.
It's great.
Israel, which is one of the single ugliest countries in the world, nothing of beauty has been.
Meanwhile, he's over there in freaking Russia smelling the bread and going, oh my God, Russia. Oh my God, Russia.
Built there since 1948. Sorry, I've been everywhere in that country, and it's true.
Let me get to the nub of the question, since again, a lot is at stake, a lot of money is at stake. Land is very valuable. Israel has a lot of resources. We have a huge country. This is a country the size of New Jersey with no resources.
He said, okay, so that right there, the saying that they have a lot of resources and then saying they have no resources, he said that in the same interview.
An attack on Western civilization looks like this. It's tribalism, it's identity politics, it's DEI, it's whatever. It's Zionism, it's any belief system that begins with the understanding that one group is morally superior to other groups.
Kind of like Islam.
Just on principle, like every other group in the world has the right to its own homeland except white people? Like what?
JD has been subject to, this is well known, so I'll just confirm it, nonstop treachery.
Accusing people of treachery, so I'm wondering, who do you mean specifically?
I don't know the answer to that. I've never worked there. So like, if you don't work there, you can say, you can say what you think you know, but it's hard to really know. If I was telling my kids, if you think someone's lying to you, you're right.
I kind of think this guy's lying to us. You think I'm right? Here's him gagging on Islam for some time.
That. You're lying. Whatever it's worth, a pretty fervent Christian, and I feel I'm not going to take another lecture in my country about Islam this, Islam that.
And the funny thing is that 10 years ago when he was boxed, he was vehemently against Sharia law, vehemently against Islam. And now, for some reason, he owns a house in Qatar and gets paid monthly by Qatari billionaires.
You're lying. Whatever it's worth, a pretty fervent Christian, and I feel completely comfortable here in the seat of Islam.
Right.
That's because of your money, sir.
Travel a lot in the Middle East. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, I like it here a lot.
Mockery of Islam. And no president should mock Islam. He's like, you know what Islam means.
You realize that Jesus mocked the pagans, and Peter, Paul, they all mocked false religions. In fact, it's our duty to mock false religions when they can't be spoken to or reasoned with or evangelized to. We're perfectly fine to mock them.
Mission. I don't think I'm against that. Actually, anyone who submits to God, like
Allah's a false god.
Just for that.
The Christian worldview, and by the way, also the Muslim worldview, is a universal worldview. Anybody can come.
I mean, this is a religion where women are forced to cover themselves up because men can't help but sexually assault them unless they're covered up. And that's a religion. That's God's will. That sounds pretty crazy to me. I don't know. A God that loves us, it just seems like he wouldn't do that.
To this faith.
And many times I said on television, the problem is Islam. The problem is Muslims. Like, they all want to kill us. They're all crazy. They're all in this.
That's a straw man. Nobody said they're all like that, but their doctrine espouses that.
Lunatic suicide cult created by Muhammad in the 7th century. And I believe that. I was hysterical. I believed that. No, that's not true. Nothing about that is true.
All of it's true.
True.
DPUSA did a poll, and they asked the audience, what they considered to be the greatest threat to America. And they did put radical Islam at number 1. I'm wondering where you think those sentiments are coming from.
From the Israeli government. I don't know.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Israel has been under assault from Islam since the beginning of Islam. Well, since Muhammad left Medina. Well, since Muhammad left Mecca for Medina, they began warring with the Christians and Jews, but especially the Jews.
Anyone in the United States in the last 24 years who's been killed by radical Islam.
How many Americans have been killed by Shia terrorism in my lifetime, which is 56 years? I can't think of any.
Islamic Jihad, whatever that is. Islamic Jihad. Sharia law.
Well, in
Sorry, Sharia law. But
Value
you
of
should
our
know,
society.
Seth, that the real danger is Sharia law. Sharia law, and you can.
Yeah, Sharia law, where in Iran, the Ayatollah said that all women are to be raped before they're executed if they're virgins, so they don't go to heaven. That's Sharia law.
Tell when you go to a place like Abu Dhabi or Riyadh, like, oh man, I hope we don't ever wind up with a society like this with a rape rate of 0 where you leave your keys in your Lamborghini.
That's because when rape happens, you need 4 witnesses to be able to make it like triable. Otherwise, the woman gets in trouble by law and thrown in jail for accusing. So yeah, they say it's a rape rate of 0. It's because men rape their wives constantly. It's just a normal thing that happens, but they don't list it as a crime because it isn't considered a crime to them. It's just life.
And don't,
especially if you're a Christian helper. If you're one of the Christians that come from other countries to go and just help work in one of these oil-rich countries, they can rape you openly, and there will be 0 punishment for that. So when he says that there's a rape rate of 0, that's just false.
ever worry about it being stolen. And, you know, if people want to get wasted, they do it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Boy, I hope we don't wind up with that. I have more in common with the sincerely religious.
No. You have more in common with a Pride Festival going homosexual, Tucker Carlson. We all know you're a fruit. But you have nothing. You have nothing in common with these people. You just get paid by them. So you kiss their anus. That's what you do. You're full of it. There's nothing about you that's real. The only thing about you that was real was a bow tie, and that's gone now.
Pakistani cab driver. Pakistanis are all super nice to me, and the whites are all kind of craven and sad.
Yeah, because in the Middle East, the whites that are Christian are second-class citizens.
I just like reverent people. And anyone who bows down before God and admits I'm not God 5 times a day, but that person is not by definition my enemy. Again, not promoting Qatar.
Yes, you are.
I'm not moving there.
I am, however, tomorrow buying a place in Qatar.
People are completely freaked out, and they're seeking solace in nations that haven't been able to compete in the digital economy, mostly the Middle East and Africa. They're taking solace in Islamism. This is not just a religious movement. It's a reaction against radical global change.
If you have a society in which people bow down before God 5 times a day, I'm not against that. I should bow down before God 5 times a day.
What you should do is read the actual Christian scripture and know it, because you do not know anything of God, because you comparing Christianity with Islam and calling those 2 gods equal and saying that they're the same God, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. You might as well be worshiping Krishna.
And I wish I lived around people who bowed down before God 5 times a day.
This is an existential threat to the Western way of life. I really believe that.
And so here in a second, I'm going to be showing you Tucker Carlson misrepresenting our merger with the Israeli intelligence that just happened in Congress recently, which it is very much about us sharing intelligence, because they have the most advanced weaponry and intelligence when it comes to fighting underground warfare and fighting tunnel warfare, considering Hamas has been digging tunnels to fight against them for many years. And ever since America has closed the border, the cartels have been digging tunnels to help get fentanyl and also do human trafficking through tunneling underneath the United States border. So that's what the merger is about. But this is him misrepresenting it to be anti-Semitic again, because that's his whole shtick now. So just so you understand what this merger is about, it has nothing to do with leadership. Israel does not have any leadership or command over American troops or anything of the matter.
The Republican Party has decided that the interest of Israel is more important than the interest of the United States. There are a couple of exceptions, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, and they were driven out of the Republican Party. So it tells you what the
No, they left the Republican Party, and we're driven out to a certain extent because of their anti-Semitic ideology being completely insane, saying things that are 100% untrue, and calling Donald Trump a rapist, which is just 100% defamation, which isn't true. And every single bit of evidence points in the direction of Donald Trump being someone who turned in the rapist, Jeffrey Epstein. And do you think if they had any evidence of Donald Trump actually raping somebody, that the Biden administration wouldn't have released that stuff like many years ago to keep him out of office? That man probably has one of the cleanest records of any human being on earth, because they dug so deep into his past and his family's past.
The priority is serving Israel. And even if I liked Israel, which I do not, because it's committing genocide, I think we deserve sovereignty. So
okay, that's just BS. Because if Israel wanted to commit genocide against the Palestinians, all the Palestinians would have been gone the day after October 7th. And also, the population of the Palestinians went up after the end of the Gaza war. So how could that possibly be a genocide, huh? It's because it isn't. It's just a lie.
it's really that simple. Well, I think America lost its sovereignty many years ago. I mean, CIA and Mossad have worked together, in some cases, really as one for over 60 years. I mean, and of course, Mossad has fed repeatedly disinformation lies to America.
And where do you have this information? Where did you get the information from? Do you have any receipts to show?
And policymakers over decades, including the lie that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. That fundamentally came from Israel. There's no dispute about that.
When he says things like there's no dispute about that, those are words that you say to make people believe you, even if you're lying.
The lie that killing the Ayatollah, the Shiite Pope, would lead to the collapse of the Iranian government.
It will.
No American intelligence agency said that. Mossad said that. And Netanyahu told Trump that. So there's a long track record of the United States, its people, its 350 million people, being misused by Israeli intelligence. And so the idea that you would merge them formally is a generational.
Honestly, we have been merged with them as far as intelligence goes for many years already, but we're just making it a little bit more in depth of a merger so we can try to fight the war on drugs and human trafficking with the cartels better. Because once again, Israel has the most advanced ways to fight tunnel warfare, considering that's what they're dealing with. And that's what we're dealing with the cartels now.
Disaster. It's
like, if you noticed a little bit of a through line of Tucker Carlson consistently being on the side that would be anti-America?
Also humiliating, of course. It says to the people of the United States, you have no control over your own country.
That has nothing to do with it at all.
You were told this is yours. You run it. You own it.
Yes, and Israel does not run anything of our government or military. It is just the exchange of information and technology. It has nothing to do with command.
You're a shareholder in this enterprise.
Isn't it a form of treason?
So it would be a form of treason if it was true.
Well, it's the definition of treason. It's the definition. This is treason. This is acting against your.
And this makes me so mad. It just isn't true. Like, literally, it is a net benefit of the United States of America for this merger to happen, because it literally just appoints a person from Israel and a person from America to have deeper communications with each other regarding tactics as well as technology for fighting tunnel warfare against America's enemies. So it's directly helping us in our fight against the cartels. But this is just misinformation spread by anti-Semites who want to destabilize
a nation on behalf of a foreign nation. But a lot of Americans are waking up to the fact it's not a minor problem. It's not an ancillary problem. It's not a problem.
It's a net benefit.
Something we should fix in the future. It is It is the problem that led us into a war.
No, and he knows that he's lying too. This man is so full of bogus, and he knows what this merger means, but he is misleading people on purpose because he's paid to. He has his hand in the cookie jar. Nothing that comes out of this man's mouth is not something that he isn't instructed to. He is purely a propagandist, and that's it. But an anti-American propagandist at his core.
That's ending American empire and going to cause massive economic disruption here and in Europe. So the idea that the Republican Party would support a merger of U.S. and Israeli intelligence, IDF, and Pentagon is so deranged that, you know, you have to root for treason trials for Nuremberg.
Okay, you please, I beg of you, if you get nothing out of this video, understand that this merger is positive for the United States and has nothing to do with leadership and gives Israel no power or knowledge that would put America at a disadvantage at all. It just is not true. And once again, Israel is the only country who picks up arms and fights beside the United States of America.
Nuremberg trials at some point, and the president could veto it. He won't, because he's a slave to Israel.
Donald Trump is not a slave to anybody. That is absolutely insane.
We're against genocide. We're against book burning. That's what we learned from the Nazi period. And all of a sudden you wake up.
You just invoke words like Nazi and genocide, and stupid people latch onto that, and it makes them feel something. And that's how you can keep this BS misinformation trial going on constantly.
Up and we're like, no, genocide's totally fine as long as Israel's doing it. In fact,
Israel is not doing genocide. It's just not true.
It's not genocide. In fact, if you call it genocide, you're the bad person. What? No.
Well, if you call it genocide and you're Tucker Carlson, yes, you are the bad person because you're giving out misinformation intentionally. But if you're one of the Free Palestine people who just don't know what they're talking about, they're just stupid. They're not bad. They're just stupid.
The person committing genocide is the bad person.
But yeah. Thank you so much for watching Sparky Speaks. I'm going to go have an aneurysm.